Hi. Hi. We are back. Geeking Out is back with another episode this Monday. Thanks everyone for coming and hanging out with us. Make sure that you like, share, subscribe, and turn on all those wonderful notifications. And we are back in the spooky season, traveling down the witch's road. And to our wonderful topic tonight, which is spooky things that go bump in the night.
Things that go bump in the night. That was it. Creatures of the night. Tomas on a second podcast. He's already been through a couple cups.
Creatures of the night.
Oh yeah, creatures of the night, obviously. And if you and if you know what creatures of the night are, then you know that consists of werewolves and ghouls and monsters, and our favorite thing to talk about, witches. Yay. Witches. Speaking of witches, tonight we have a drinking game per usual, and the drinking game tonight is the word witch. When you hear the word witch, take your cup to your lips and take a sip. Oh.
What was the word? Something from Manon? What was the phrase as they passed the cup?
I take it to me.
Yes.
No. I drink of my sisters.
Mm-hmm. There you go. That's it.
Okay, well let's just kick this thing off. Something proper. We took a little quiz, and in this quiz we determined what type of witch or what witch in famous television we are. And so let's see. So far we've had a pretty cool coven. We had some cool abilities throughout this season. Lucia, do you remember what everybody's superpowers were so far this season?
Oh man, not even a little bit. I'm gonna guess like mostly telepathy and stuff to do with writing. That's what
Yes. Does anybody else remember?
I think Ricky had super speed at one point, maybe.
Why?
That was the old. What was it? Superpower.
Oh God.
Superpower.
I know one of the things I had was something about empathy.
Yes, it was.
There you go.
And I feel like another one might have had oh no, telepathy maybe.
Yeah, most of mine were telepathy.
I know you had telepathy and telekinesis.
Yeah. Okay, well that's fine. So this time we're gonna figure out which witch we are.
Right. Which witch?
Which witch? Take a sip, by the way. Thanks.
Right. Okay.
Wow, that's crazy.
All right, starting with Taman. Here you go, Taman.
Oh, mine was linguist. That's what it was.
I received the Scarlet Witch. You are probably the most powerful witch out there, obviously. While it seems effortless, you put a lot of time into strengthening your magic. You can sometimes be emotional, but it only makes your magic stronger. Yeah, that's pretty true.
What's the read more part?
You know what? I don't know. That's a good question. And
it's somewhere back in the dark hole.
So. Right.
Probably you're also the Phoenix. I don't know.
yeah, the Phoenix was also okay. Cool.
Good night.
Magic stronger. Plus, you're also the Phoenix. Good night. Good night.
Stretch. We're doing yoga over here.
Okay.
Okay. You ready for the next one?
Mm-hmm.
Cadence.
Oh,
Right. And I did it twice for good measure and got the same thing, even after changing up a couple of my answers.
Okay, so Cam, I need you to get a new set of friends. I need you to listen to your grams and leave Mr. Falls the first
you know what?
time.
That's so right. It's such an Aries, Bonnie. Does what you want to do. You know, she protects the one she loves, no matter what, any cost. Yeah, that's a good one.
I'm from a long line of witches. Magic in my blood. You know, I'll do anything for the people that I love, and I have more power than I know. But I know a little bit, so be wary. Be wary. What is this, Alex?
Alex, make sure that you make sure you take the quiz. It's in the comments.
Oh,
yes. Join us. Tell us who you got in the comments. Take the quiz for us.
We trying to make sure our coven is tight now. Come on. So far, we're unstoppable.
Yeah.
All right.
Nope. Okay. Nope.
Come on.
Of course.
It makes perfect sense.
Lucio,
it makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Lucio, this is so on point for you. It doesn't make any sense.
It's absurd. I got this. I was like, come on, man. I was like, anything else? Anyone else? Oh, well.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at it.
I mean, we need you on the team. You're super smart, and your magic is a result of hours of hard work and studying.
I'm in the
Your work ethic is unmatched, and so your compassion. You're one of the best witches out there, Lucio. Thank you.
For your service.
We cooking now.
Thank you for your service.
Yeah, we cooking big time now. And last but not least.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's OP.
I think any team that has 2 Scarlet Witches is kind of set.
Yeah, I think we're gonna win.
No, so like if the first Scarlet Witch, the first Wanda didn't able to stop Thanos, the second one will. So
the second one will definitely. What the fuck is going on in the comments?
We don't speak that kind of language here.
Mark James. Wow.
We keep those racial slurs to ourselves.
Mark, we don't have no negative, disparaging remarks about people on the show. Calling someone a mudblood is one of those remarks.
That's awful.
That's awful.
Whoa. Someone's in Slytherin.
Yes, that's probably true also.
Yeah. Okay,
y'all forgot Scarlet Witch was said, so
take a drink.
I just want to make sure everybody stays on task.
Well, I do that. So
okay, so let's continue to kick off this witchy theme for tonight. Yeah, take a sip. I just said
it. I'm just gonna have to pee somewhere in the middle of this episode if it happen.
This is gonna be a long night.
Okay, so Agatha All Along. So this episode.
Hold on.
Oh. And welcome to our segment called Agatha All Along.
Thank you, Ricky. I love it.
So this episode was extremely revealing. It was. It started off when we meet this new character named William, and he is in the middle of his bar mitzvah. And what an exciting time for a 13-year-old boy to come into manhood. And so at his bar mitzvah, he has this cool fortune teller there, who we find out has been Lydia all along.
It's been, let's give me a show of Patti LuPone. I can do it. We'll watch it.
Yeah, I enjoy Patti LuPone in this moment. How she doesn't even recognize who he was after he left the fortune teller, and she gave us a little bit of tea about William, that his life was split, and he's getting ready to start a few new things.
Alex,
for spoilers.
Okay, so yes, so we'll go ahead and put up the spoiler sign because we've been doing it all month long. But I've been trying to keep up with Penguin.
Just come back in about 30 minutes.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
let's cap that about like 15, 20.
15 minutes.
15.
We'll see you soon, Alex.
Right.
And so we figured out this is the same day. Oh, so Lilia, we found out that she's the one who put the hex or the rune or the sigil on the team. So that was super exciting to get that out. And I thought it was cool that she didn't even know that she did it.
Right.
Yeah. That was interesting.
Yeah, that was super interesting. And it makes me think about some other stuff, how people were talking about how sigils is old magic, and then, she is old. And so that sort of made sense for her to be the one with the knowledge to how to do that. All right, so flying through the episode, at this thing, we get this Amber Alert situation, but it's really an Avengers test experiment going on in Westview.
Yeah,
exactly. Going on in Westview. So this is the same day of the finale of WandaVision. In this time jump that we're back. And so as William and his family are evacuating his bar mitzvah, they get in a car wreck, and in this moment, William dies. And from there,
does he?
Yeah, he died. And then from there, what was his name?
Billy.
Billy, yeah, Billy Wanda's spirit jumps into William's body, and now he becomes Billy Kaplan. So the reveal that has been obvious the entire season was made clear this episode. I'm not often that Jewish character are represented in supernatural settings well. Supernaturally, it's not often. Yeah, that's true.
So there's been some back and forth with that, mainly because the actor that plays Billy is not Jewish, and there's been more of a need for actual Jewish representation with Jewish actors. And I don't know if they've kind of worked around that with the fact that they started off William Kaplan actually being Jewish, which is supposed to be truer to the actual character, and then we don't really know what Billy is. They don't really play on Wanda's Romanov heritage at all, or her being Jewish.
No,
she's just Eastern European.
Yeah, I mean, they casted his parents, two Jewish actors in this story. I do remember reading that article, and they said that for sure. I mean, yes,
yeah.
Sure.
I don't know.
And so then we figure out that this story is not about Agatha all along. It's really about Billy all along. And he has been plotting and planning this entire thing for 3 years with his boyfriend to figure out where his twin brother is.
Keyboard too.
Yeah. So now we know the entire point of this season, and now we know his entire motivations. How are we feeling at this point of Agatha All Along?
I like the drawback to the finale of WandaVision, and also the callback to the first episode, and what the actual reality was for Agatha.
Oh yeah.
That was hilarious.
Yes. You're literally in her home, and you would think that she's like all this stuff where she's like out and about. No, she's literally in her home. Just kind of in a whole other world, and people are just kind of
a psycho.
At the same time, being a decent neighbor.
A decent one, yeah.
I unfortunately thought that last part of the episode was cheap. I think they cheated us by just recapping what we've already seen and showing us literally everything that we literally just saw in the first episode. It didn't offer anything new other than what he was saying when he was actually sigiled. Mm-hmm. Why would you waste an episode like that? I feel like it was not a good use of the time. And that's me. But overall, I mean, the other part of the episode was cool, and this is me after watching it a second time yesterday because I did have to go back and watch it. And I was like, wow, they really could have just picked up from after we got through all that. They could have picked up right from in that moment, and we could have got more of this interaction with Billy and Agatha on the road, and whatever their resolution was, and it's going to be to get down the road. I didn't like. Is it okay for me to continue?
Hey, yeah, keep going. Why wouldn't it?
Okay. I didn't. I just want to make sure I'm not getting. I did not like that. When how they confirmed that the other two witches are dead in a way. Like, are you serious? Are we serious? You seriously just killed two witches at once, and now we're just dealing with Agatha? Please tell me that that's not what you're insinuating.
Yeah, I don't think that's true because we saw scenes of them in the mud. But I felt the same way too, though. I felt the same way too. That and it was a throwaway line, like, "Oh yeah, they're dead. Mm-hmm. Let's keep on with what we're talking about."
Yeah, you got some more bodies. I've got this many bodies, and now you just have a few too. Like, okay, but where is Rio?
Collecting souls.
What's going on?
Doing her job.
What's happening?
Vibing.
Lucio, what did you think of the episode and the show so far?
I did. I enjoyed this episode. I mean, I've liked all the episodes, like, to a degree. I was happy that it wasn't another escape room, which was cool. But it was. I kind of see the direction they're going with this thing now. If they're like, oh, hey, this is Billy's show. This is actually like us showing you who Billy is. But it was. I think I would have liked this like 3 episodes ago.
I think that's valid.
Yeah, I think so too.
We could have done without 1 or 2 escape rooms and had like more build up to what Billy, like what and who Billy is. But the episode was really interesting. I mean, like the thing you mentioned about the sigil being put on him and not being aware that that's what happened. The lady who did it wasn't aware of what happened. That was an interesting, like, little facet of her character. It was weird though that they're like, oh, also Billy played tag with every single one of these characters. It's like, okay, that, like, because the cop shows up for like 4 seconds and she's like, hey,
yeah,
I'm in the scene too. And then he literally it's just him running into who's the very first one that dies, the Green Witch,
Sharon.
Sharon.
Thank you. Yeah, it's just like, oh, he just literally bumps into her. Yeah.
He bumps into you.
Yeah, they'll be yeah. Yeah. I don't know, it was weird. Like, that seemed, I mean, it's kind of fun, but it's also like you could have done something with that. It's kind of unnecessary, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if I would say it's unnecessary. I am interested in like what it all kind of means, though. That he encountered them. Like, are they a part of the coven because he encountered them, or like what's the situation behind this? I do think that it's pretty cool that it seems like he is actually the Black Heart that was drawn on the paper. Now I do think that is one of the coolest things that they did in this episode. Kind of revealed that, and I'm like, oh. And then the boyfriend did kind of use. I think he used the Black Heart emoji when he.
Yeah, he did. Yep.
So I'm like, oh, a Black Heart. But what is this Black Heart about? What does this Black Heart mean? And I'm sure that it has even more significance behind it, because if everybody else had a name, why did he not have a name on the coven list and just a symbol of the Black Heart?
Because she couldn't remember his name or say his name.
That's true. Okay.
Yeah, I did think, I was like, oh, is this along what you said with Cadence was like, oh, is this that he's fated to run into these people and like that's how they get connected? Like, I was like, okay, that's like the best thing I'm hoping for here. But I was like, all right.
You know, I feel like it was just happenstance just to show more connectivity in this town. I don't know
but
if there's anything outside of that.
But should she have had to mention? But should she have had to remember his name? Because when she tapped into that power, it wasn't necessarily her. It's like she was kind of taken over. So, but I guess the spell would kind of. I guess
the seal will work. The seal should still work because nobody can use his name. Not even
nobody can figure out who the Black Heart was, because we initially thought it was Rio.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it still could be. I don't know. I guess that's the part that I do enjoy, not kind of knowing the significance of this just yet, but I'm pretty sure that the Black Heart in general has some sort of significance that's going to matter later on down the line.
I mean, yeah, Blackheart is the name of Mephisto's son, so that's the only else I can think of where Blackheart is important. But no, it's what you were saying about bumping those people. I think it was just happenstance, just to show more connectivity and how
it feels him. Though like we're on the call sheet. Everyone's got to get the screen time.
Yeah, exactly.
I did really like who's the guy who played Wanda's brother, that guy who was
Evan Peters.
Yeah. How much he seemed messed up by that whole situation was really, really interesting, because that'd probably really screw your brain up.
He was a nice touch to see him, and I actually enjoyed Billy and his boyfriend doing this investigation. It was nice to see them together, and if he's who I think he is, what a great addition.
And it's so.
I feel like he would be. It's funny you mention that, because I feel like Evan Peters' character would probably be the most messed up out of anyone in the town, honestly, because you have someone else's whole personality implanted in your head, memories and ideas and powers, and
he used the speedster power, didn't he? That can't be good for your body.
True.
It was just magic. He's fine.
He looks fine. He seems like he's 100% cool.
Oh yeah, he's totally recovered.
Right.
Yeah, he's good. He's okay. He's fine. He's just holding on to trauma.
For me, this is one of my favorite episodes this season. I really think that the show benefits from a different lead versus Agatha. I enjoyed the show with him in the front. I do think this episode spent too much time building up to when they got back to the road, because that fallout and that explosion of who he was between them, that scene should have been bigger than that, and we should have saw more, and we should really still keep the story moving. We didn't have to stop the entire story for this backstory episode. We really could have got most of this done in the first 20 minutes of this episode and then move forward down the witch's road. So I agree with the pacing is the issue of this show for me.
I will say for the boyfriend, it was so interesting that they kind of dropped little I guess Easter eggs kind of hinting that he could possibly be Hulkling.
The shirt,
like the taking off the jacket, like no, I can't deal with those arms right now. Like, shut up.
And then that's what he looks like in the comics too, like the cutoff shirt.
Yeah. It's cute though. He's very cute. He's very cute.
Yeah. So like I said, if that's who he's gonna be, then sure, I like him. They did good with casting him.
Yeah, for sure.
I love Catherine Hahn, and she have really beautiful hands. How do we know that? How do we know that her hands are beautiful?
You know, they do a lot of handwork. Like there's a lot of this stuff in the show. I mean, it's usually like this level.
Oh, when they're doing their spells.
Yeah.
That's true. Okay, so was anybody shocked at his reveal?
No.
What? No.
Everybody knew that's what sort of pissed me off. Like, you made it this grandiose thing that you were hiding, and no, it was not anything that was hidden well.
No.
I would have felt better if it was a misdirect the entire time and they were somebody else.
I would have. That Pop magazine.
That would have blew the top off of everybody.
Yeah. I agree. And if he turns out to be Mephisto's son, Blackheart, then y'all may win because
because you played.
Yeah, even though he's great for the actor to play Wiccan. We have some new people. We have Alex in the comments. Billy's back. Mark James is back. Evo Live came and hung out with us for a little bit. Thank you guys for coming in the comments and showing us some love. Any final thoughts about Agatha All Along this episode and what we're expecting for the final 3?
Yeah.
Last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I've got 0 expectations.
That's probably smart.
Which is how I've been this entire time. I have 0 expectations. And even with me having 0 expectations, I'm still at a place of something to watch. I'm not like it's not a I have to watch it tonight kind of thing. It's like okay, I'll watch it when I get to it.
It's kind of been like that for me too, but I enjoy it.
Yeah, that's like it's a nice casual watch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's gotten my youngest into like going back and watching WandaVision.
That's good.
So like he's been enjoying that much. But he's also been watching like From with me too. So I don't know. We've been.
I'm so proud.
He'll at least sit and play on a Switch while I watch it. So he's been paying attention.
Yes, come on.
You know, in episode 6 of what episode was this of Agatha? 5?
6.
This was 6.
Oh, how many episodes of Wanda did we have?
Good question.
10, I think. I think it was 10.
Oh. Okay, well, episode 6 of Wanda is when we found out it was Agatha all along.
Mm-hmm.
And so this one we found out it was Teen all along.
So it was 9 episodes for WandaVision.
I guess that's special.
Okay, we're close.
But it feels like we're all feel the same way about this show. I really wanted to like love and be obsessed about it, but it's not happening. And there's probably a lot of factors involved in that. However, it's just not there. It is a nice casual watch, though. It's a witch show, and for those of us who love witch shows, it's great to watch.
I think it's been a nice little spooky.
You said
season.
witch twice.
Yeah, it's been a nice little spooky season edition. Something new, spooky season for the season.
And remember, Agatha is a villain, so just keep remembering that.
Yeah.
So don't be surprised at how this shit ends.
Well,
I think it's time that we take a little commercial break. And when we come back, we're going to dive right on into our topic of the evening, and that is
Creatures of the Night.
I think the directors did an interview, and they said that hearts will be broken this season, and we're going to lose people that are important to us or we care about. Who is everyone's top 2 to 3 that they think should be on the chopping block?
Oh, should be. Oh,
I thought you was gonna say who you want to protect.
No, we never. No.
I want to say it, but I just if I say it, we all got to drink again.
Listen, if we
shade of it all.
Since we know that the writers and things are looking, MGM Plus is looking.
Yeah.
If y'all kill Donna, if y'all do this, I'm unsubscribing. I'm just saying. I'm
right behind you.
Yeah.
Are y'all standing on business? And we're back. That is our From Breakdown every Wednesday here on Scream Kings. You can check us out on Wednesdays going over From Season 3 review. I had a question for y'all. I just forgot it that fast. Oh, this is about a witch. I guess you consider it a witch. We just found out that Blumhouse, the people who ruined the
I like this preface.
who ruined The Craft, the people who ruined The Exorcist, they just announced they're doing a Carrie TV show.
Why?
Like,
we don't need that.
We don't need that. Exactly.
The remake movie was just fine. The remake movie was enough.
It wasn't enough, but yes, it's a book, but that doesn't mean we need to get them. That doesn't mean we need a full TV show. You're muted, Ricky.
Like, why? Like, we have the original, we have Rage, we have
a sequel, a reboot, a remake.
A remake. Yes, 2 remakes, don't we?
No, just one.
Just one? Okay. Yeah, yep. And a musical. We don't need another one. No.
Yeah, and a musical. And this just dropped today. And like, I'm sorry, guys, I had to bring it up because it's just another wasted resources that we get to experience because of Hollywood's inability to recognize other talents that are not repeating the same things that have been out over the course of the last 30 years. And they need to make sure that they learn how to acknowledge people who are out here trying to make some other projects. And it may sound like I'm upset, but I'm really not upset.
Where's the fresh perspective? Where's the originality?
Yeah. They know there's other stuff, right? Like we have several of that.
You can literally create something different and it'll be okay.
I don't watch a lot of horror and I've seen 2 of those already.
I can promise them if they do something different, the people are going to flock to it. People want something new. They're tired of seeing the same old things, reboot after reboot after reboot.
And half the problem is like there are new things that are coming out. It's the reboots that are getting the big push. Yeah. Like that's what's frustrating. Yeah. Like we're starting to see some rom-coms coming back now, and they don't get pushed enough because it's not heavy hitters.
The nostalgia pool they think is enough for our generation, which has the buying power. But what we're trying to tell y'all is Carrie. No. There is a book version of Carrie about a black girl in the 70s going through what black girls in the 70s went through during integration. But no, still no. We don't have to. We know what happens.
But wait, I'd be interested in watching that. I'm not gonna hold you. I would be interested in watching that.
Okay, so that's a book that's actually out.
That's different. That's like even if they're like, oh, we're gonna do it with a person of color as a central person, like that would be a very interesting take on that.
It is,
especially put in that time period.
Because it's a fresh perspective. Like if they were to switch that up, it's like because you change the dynamic of obstacles that the character is going to encounter. It becomes more cultural. So you, by getting that different perspective, you're changing up a lot of what's going to occur during the time that you're telling this story. It's a whole different set of character building that you're about to go through.
A complete different set, because now that I think about it, what made Carrie's being ostracized so bad is that she was actually white, blonde, blue eyes, so she actually should have been popular. And she probably should have been one of the it girls. That's what made her story so like I said, for her, because she should have fit in. So taking someone who in that time period who automatically is not fitting in and different from everyone else, that could be different, which is probably why the book is good. I haven't read it, but this is my cue. But sure, we can see that, but the idea of a girl going to prom in blood is so ingrained in people who are non-horror and just people who consume things in general that it's not a fresh story at all.
No, because I can tell you, like as like a new horror fan, like I've watched Carrie, all the versions of Carrie, and read the book. That wouldn't be anything fresh to me. You know what I want? I was listening to the soundtracks. Well, not soundtracks. The music. Janelle Monáe. She had like a kind of like a story arc for like her first 3 major albums called Metropolis. Oh, yes. I would like that to be put in a film or TV show.
That'd be cool. Yeah,
I would like to get that. Like you got the music, you got the soundtrack to go with it. You got a storyline already built in. If you're gonna do something like that, try that. That could have been done. That should have been done.
Yeah. I hope that she actually goes back and actually does that, because that's kind of what like really kicked her career off, was that continuation of that until she got to a point where she had kind of wrapped that up and then started changing it up though.
Yeah.
But I love early Janelle Monáe. It was so different and just refreshing music to listen to. So
if they wanted to create a show or a movie about Metropolis and Cindy Mayweather, I would love it. So let's do that one instead.
Okay, I just have to get that off my chest to make sure that I'm not being a bitch, but it actually is oversaturation of a certain IP. So thanks, guys. All right, let's jump right into the first part of our creatures that go bump in the night.
Creatures of the night.
Creatures
of the night.
Creatures of the night.
So are you okay, buddy?
And we're gonna talk about our favorite subject, which is witches. So
you just need to get a post-it, put it right next to the thing where you you're looking there anyway.
Yeah, and actually it's on the screen. I just noticed that, so it's fine. I won't make that mistake again about tonight's episode, which is titled "Creatures of the Night." Let's just dive into some our favorite witch TV shows.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Let's go ahead and get the conversation started.
Lucia, I want to hear from you since this is your people.
You already know where this is going to go. Like, it's going to go, hey, Lucia, what'd you watch with your grandparents besides Howdy Doody and freaking soap operas? We watched Bewitched, and we watched a lot of Bewitched. We watched it when it was black
Of course
and white.
you did.
We watched it in color.
And there you have it, folks.
That's right. Of course I watched this show. I watched so much of this show.
Yeah. You shapeshifted because this is back then.
I was the third Darren.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie to you. Bewitched is probably my gateway into witchdom. Because I used to watch this in black and white. I used to watch this growing up. I don't know where I was, but it could have been with my grandma. It could have been at home. But I watched this show and I loved Endora. I loved Endora. I should have known then.
I was a Nick and Night baby for sure.
Hey, wait, what color was her hair again? What color was her hair?
It was red.
Yeah.
Yes, Lucio.
This is just a line. This is a direct line for every single one of your shows.
I feel seen.
Meta. We're just getting very meta here.
So now we're tracking back my trauma to redheads. So we're almost there. We're at the black and white time. Thank you, Lucio. But yeah, I loved Endora. I loved her cousin, I think. Didn't Sabrina have a cousin?
Sabrina.
Not Sabrina,
Samantha?
but Samantha.
Come on, man.
Samantha had a cousin.
Yeah, I think they had like visits from a few people.
Yeah, the author.
That's the one that I remember was the weird uncle.
I honestly couldn't tell you.
There was a brunette that she played as well. I think it was her cousin. She was like a mean version of her.
Yeah, wasn't it the same actress with dark hair?
Yeah, it was Elizabeth Montgomery. I just can't remember the cousin's name. But she was a bitch, and I liked her character too.
Aunt Clara, Uncle Arthur.
Oh, Aunt Clara. Are all these people dead?
Oh, almost assuredly. They're maybe Tabitha Stevens, the actress who.
No, Tabitha is the daughter.
Yeah, Erin Murphy, the daughter.
I think she's still alive. She's probably the only one alive.
Yeah.
I mean, if y'all want to talk about Sabrina, that's cool too. I mean, is she on our list? Oh, she's slick, not on our list. However, she should be on here.
Which one?
Sylvester for bringing us into Sabrina. Which Sabrina are we going to talk about? Are we going to talk about Melissa Joan Hart or?
I don't think you can talk about the new one without talking about Melissa first.
Or the comic books.
So, like, if we're going off of just Sabrina herself, like shows, I would say my favorite is Melissa Joan Hart, because if I talk about Chilling Adventures, I'm not talking about Sabrina. I'm talking about my queen with the finger waves. Okay.
Not Prudence.
Prudence, yes. The one that yes, I'm talking about Prudence. I don't care about Sabrina then. I'm talking about Prudence.
Ashley Ambrose also mattered on that show.
Exactly. Okay, thank you. So still not Sabrina.
And also Aunt Zelda mattered on that show.
Her friend that, what was her name? That had the site.
Oh, also from Gen V.
Yes. Everyone but Sabrina.
Bloody Mary.
Mm-hmm.
What was her name on that? I never remember her name on that show.
I don't remember.
I can't remember either.
That's Lady Sylvester. They both matter, but I prefer. Oh, were you finished, Ricky? You said which one you prefer?
No, if I'm most Joan Hart or Prudence, there.
Okay, I remember really liking Sabrina the Teenage Witch up until she went to college, and I thought it got weird when when there was another love interest besides Harvey, or when Harvey started dating somebody else. I was like, no, we're not doing it.
Not after
that's her name.
You put me through this relationship.
Yeah.
And then you separate them.
Rude. Then he's with someone else. Little do I know that's what life is actually like. And then I was like,
I was gonna say, because every time there's a show like that, like, oh, they went off to college, like all of a sudden the person that was like the antagonist is their friend. All of a sudden, I'm like, why in the world would you have? And then you go to college and you're like, oh yeah, like this is one of the 3 people I know from high school. They're my friend now. Like this is how it happens.
Exactly. Yeah. Kelly and Zach broke up in college, and I'm just like, are you fucking kidding me? No, we're not doing it.
And then got married. It's the drama. Stefan and Elena broke up in college, okay? But they didn't get married. They broke up prior to college, though.
Yeah, Stefan got married, but he died the same day he got married. So yeah, there's that. Okay, so let's bring up Cam, what about you? Chilling Adventures or Sabrina the Teenage Witch?
Sabrina the Teenage Witch, because like I said, she was the first. She made Sabrina who she was to me, and
she got dressed in front of the mirror.
Yeah, like I loved watching that show. It was a lot of fun. At the time, the special effects were so interesting. And rewatching it, they're terrible.
They're still interesting. They
are still interesting.
I mean, but it's TGIF. Like honestly,
yeah, like you can't like that's a nostalgia moment. Just the whole TGIF situation, like having those Friday night shows. Yeah, I mean, Sabrina. It's got to be the Sabrina the Teenage Witch. But of course, Chilling Adventures offered us a different perspective from that whole Archieverse situation. And that was fun too. It was interesting to see a different kind of Sabrina. And I love that. I love that one too, but it's got to be the first one. And Bewitched, I remember enough.
I only watched Sabrina the Teenage Witch, but I'm pretty sure I watched like every single episode as they aired. So
that's okay. It's okay. My purpose is still going to be Chilling Adventures, obviously because of the tone of the show. But it was just great. It really reawakened that franchise and really gave some new perspective into the other media that this franchise is a part of, like the comics. So it was nice to see that. Yeah, the Archieverse. It was nice to see that and the little crossover with Riverdale or whatever. Okay.
So I haven't seen that, but do you consider, because like it's not a remake, but it is like a re-adaptation of that same material. Do you like that as preferred to Carrie 27?
What's Carrie 27?
No, like the 19th version of Carrie that they're making now.
Oh. You know, that's a good question. I actually like all the versions. I think they each speak to a different audience, and the time that they were released spoke to the time of, like, the first one was the world was innocent and fun and light.
Waiting for the Riverdale zombie apocalypse.
I mean, basically, might as well, right?
Might as well.
It turned into a hodgepodge of mess.
If
There
given the
has to be an
opportunity,
Archie
they would.
comic with zombies. There has to be an Archie comic with zombies.
MESS man.
Riverdale started doing all that crazy stuff, and I said, "Oh no, y'all have strayed too far from the original formula."
It was so good at first, and then we have each of them get superpowers, and then we get the Phoenix Saga.
Like, what are you talking about? How did we get here?
She's a fire witch. Oh, okay, get us out of here. She won't be on our list tonight of favorite witches.
Where did witchcraft come from, girl? Like, what? We went from murder mystery to witchcraft. Are you serious? I know that's what happens in the comics, but that's still this. It's just that's not what they kind of established this show to be. Like, if they were gonna do like that kind of vibe, I wish they would have eased it in a little bit differently, because it was just an abrupt shift in the tone of what we were doing, and I was like, I don't understand what the show is anymore.
And it was so good. But when and don't get me wrong, they were having like nightmares of zombies and dead bodies, all the stuff that happens in, those type of murder mystery horror films. But then one character started doing magic. Her family's always had magic. It didn't, and then did the crossovers. It was just a lot. Next show.
I from memory though, that's how the Archie comics are. Like there's like the main through line with like Archie and Jughead and stuff, and then just like weird stuff happens on the periphery.
Oh, Sylvester.
It's a gumbo.
Yeah.
It's a gumbo.
Hodge.
It's like the Flintstones having that alien in it. It's like, why?
You can't talk about witch shows without talking about one of the ultimate witch shows. Take a sip.
Never heard of it. Just kidding. I've seen this.
Don't say bad words.
Tomorrow's not to reach through the
You're gonna get booted off the panel, son.
Get over here.
We'll see your resignation at the end of this episode.
Exactly. Running my money.
Head in your badge, Lucio.
Head in your
podcasting badge.
Okay, this show literally changed my life, and it's one that's really special to me. And it's one of the best witch shows that you will ever see. You have sisterhood, you have drama, you have dating, you have familiar bonds. You have so many cool things besides Black people in this show.
No, you have Black people. They were the detectives
and the demons sometimes, of course. But Charmed is an amazing show about these three sets of sister witches, and they are destined to fulfill becoming the charmed ones, becoming the strongest witches in the world. And the show ran for 8 seasons. Yeah, the show ran for 8 seasons. Some changes in the cast around season 4 when the dearly departed Shannon Doherty left the show, R.I.P. Queen, to make way for Rose McGowan. Does anyone have a favorite episode or moment from this show?
No, because I can't pick one.
Right.
Can't pick just one favorite moment or
favorite episode.
No.
What comes to mind?
I can't pick one. I don't know.
Okay, I'll kick it off. My favorite episode of this show is called All Hail the Queen. You like the remake? Of course you would. Sylvester. Hello, Phoebe. Yes. It's called All Hail the Queen. It's season 4, and this is when Phoebe is pregnant with the Source's baby, Coulter. And she is now the Queen of Hell, and she is struggling with whether she wants to be a charmed one or the queen. And the sisters are equally, well, not these sisters. Piper is fed up with her shit. It's good because
when is she not?
Piper is the queen of being fed up with everybody's shit. Okay, that's her token.
That's her journey.
Exactly. She's just tired of everybody's shit all the time. And so in this episode, they fight as sisters. Phoebe fights as a wife, and she decides to be on the side of her sisters, and they vanquish Cole with the ancestry spell. It just had everything in it.
One of many times that they try to
vanquish Cole.
Yeah, one of many times.
I still love Phoebe and Cole.
Me too.
I just hate that it had to end that way.
Why?
Because he had to go be a plastic surgeon. That's all.
He's actually in another one of my favorite episodes, Y2 Tambien. This is the episode.
The Mummy.
Yeah, the Mummy episode, and this is where Piper was pregnant with Wyatt, and her and Cole got into a fight in the attic, and they couldn't destroy each other, and it was epic. Oh my God, it was epic. I'm sorry, I just get so emotional. And then,
I kind of like the episode where they fake their own death.
Zanku finale.
Yeah, that one. That one was a good episode.
Okay, season 6 finale. No, season 7 finale.
But then I also no, it's fine. I'll just leave it at that.
There's tons of episodes. Like
I know. That's the problem.
Well, Prue's funeral always makes me tear up.
Mm-hmm.
To this day. Her funeral still makes me really sad, especially now.
Yeah, I was gonna say that would probably hit different now.
Yeah, for sure. And I remember being bitchy about that season 2, like Piper was, when we had a new sister join the group, and I had an attitude with her too. And who is this girl? She stole our book of shadows. She tossed our heritage out the window. Yeah, I was with Piper the entire time. This was she. Obviously, you guys know that's my favorite character.
Right. Let's be real.
Does anybody else have a favorite sister?
Paige.
Piper. She seemed the most reasonable one.
I love Paige.
On social, come on, Lucia.
I'm trying. Like, I know I watched this show. Like, I didn't watch the whole entire thing. I watched several seasons of it, but I remember the first. I think the first or second episode. I was like, "What?" Like, the show was interesting until this last moment when they're like, "The power of 3 will set us free," and they kept chanting this. I was like, "That's
their spell. That's their fucking spell."
That was boring as hell. That was boring.
That's not what Piper wanted.
I have an issue with shows where they're like big epic conflict and they're like, we're gonna chat this out instead, guys.
Well, I mean, it was very formulaic for the longest time. It was very formulaic.
They have to say the spell to do
the power of 3. That's them.
That's what that is. You know, I know exactly what that is. That is Voltron, like the 5 lines forming Voltron, so they can do their big giant sword slash to kill. That's all that was. That's all that is.
Yes, Lucio. In the new one, they expanded upon the power of 3 lore and gave it like this active ability. It was called Potentia Tre. And when they called upon this, they had like this electricity power. They were really special versus just a end all be all solve all.
It was nothing but a Spanish version of the power of 3.
Oh.
What are we doing? No, stop, because that's not wrong.
You can't say that. You can't say that anymore.
Too. They were Hispanic. They just did a Spanish version of the power of 3. Period. Come on.
So Bruja.
Bruja. Like they were just saying things in Spanish.
Actually, they didn't say enough in Spanish, which is one of my issues with people, is that they didn't even lean into their heritage for a lot of their spell work. And so
we didn't want to hire we didn't want to hire a professor to do Latin for us. We just got some Hispanic people to do.
You know, the CW didn't have the money.
Lazy Latin.
The CW don't have no money. What do you mean?
Yeah, they've been broke. They've been broke since the 90s.
Like,
they've been broke since the
Latin
beginning.
American.
They were broke from the get-go.
Did everybody watch the reboot?
Broke since the 90s is crazy. Yes.
When it started in the 2000s.
That would WB.
They were broke at the inception.
Since they changed names. Every time they
were broke at inception, girl.
Broke bitches.
They were, honestly.
They've been broke since that's why they had 3 names already.
They literally
were broke at
good.
WB. They were broke at WG. They were broke at CW. They are home from the 90s. Okay, so ow. That hurt.
Manon had something to say about that.
He did. Sorry, that wasn't nice. Did anybody watch the reboot or remake?
I did. I liked it. I feel like the first season. I thought the first season was good, but I felt like some of the big plots happened so quickly within that first half of the first season. And I was like, oh, okay. I hope y'all got like the source. Like the whole source thing was. That took like what?
The first four seasons was put into the first season.
I was like, okay. I hope y'all can top it.
And somehow they were able to beat them.
They were able to beat the source.
Insane.
By making the charm one the source, and then making her split the source power and hide it across the world so they can never use it again.
See, I don't. All right, next show. Next show.
Ricky's done.
Next case.
The Queen. So when you talk about witch shows, when you talk about showcasing magic and spell work, oh yeah, I said the word.
First of all, my man, Vincent.
I see him back there on the. Oh, it's two of them back there. That look like Vincent and Marcel.
Vincent, Marcel. There's Freya. Who's that? Is that Hope?
Haley and Hope.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I've seen this picture a million times. I never paid attention to that.
Wow. So this must be from like the final season. That's season 5.
Has to be.
Yeah, that's Haley's mom cut. Haircut in season 5.
Yep.
That she was barely in.
Well, why's she in that picture?
Oh,
because
them two dead. Them two are going. Oh, if you ain't seen it, all right.
Spoiler. Well, so they start. So Haley is in like a good chunk of the first season, or not first chunk of the season.
I know with this being this has to be a promo from the very.
It is.
So with that being said, it feels like they put them outside of the photo because what's going to happen. But I could have sworn by the final season she was already gone.
She dies in the last season.
She dies in the last season.
Oh, okay.
All because of Hope. It's so stupid. Anyway, but so when you talk about witches and television shows, this is the one that checks all my boxes. It has the violence level, it has the power, it has the darkness, it has the lore in witches. Yes. It has everything that you want if you like a good witch show.
It does.
Prior to this, we were used to seeing witches like Sabrina or witches from the Wizard of Oz.
Or like the charmed ones.
Or the charmed ones. But when we get to this, we get to see what power really looks like in a real world setting that is not fantastical completely.
Like just covens in general.
Yeah.
Like you see like actual like girls growing up as witches and the history and all the things that came along with it, all because of witches and magic. Like there's so much world building. It's so much better, like plot.
It's a perfect show.
Better than its predecessor. And I'll die on that hill.
It is better than its predecessor.
I have not seen this. Is this the one you guys showed me the clip of that was like the super cut of people getting neck snapped?
Yes. This is the show. This is the show.
Lucio, watch the show. And I mean
it's fantastic. What I want to slow walk a little bit, like some of the aspects of the witchy aspects of the show. I thought the Harvest Girl idea was brilliant. Like on paper, like in the writing room, we're talking about a backdrop of creating the magical system of the witches in this show. That was such a great entry point into understanding what their witches' customs and traditions are.
Yeah. And a good balance of like the strength and the limitations of this particular set of witches. So like you're very much differentiating them from the witches that you see in Vampire Diaries, like the New Orleans witches, French Quarter, all the different what are they called? What are they called in New Orleans? Not the not like neighborhoods, but you know what I mean. Like
parishes.
All different parishes, and like how they're all different, but also they all suffer from like the same issue of they can't really get too far out of New Orleans because their power is based on their ancestors and being near their ancestors.
Can we pause on that point alone as when it comes to like the lore of this show? How do we feel about that? Because that's a huge point into one of my questions I'm going to ask later. But how do we feel about that constraint?
The ancestral magic. I think they were way more badass than the spirits.
Yeah.
They were way more vindictive than the spirits. I like that part for this show. Like I like the ancestral magic.
Yeah.
I like the ancestral magic, but I was glad. I was glad when I was glad when it was taken care of. If for those who haven't seen it, I was glad when it was taken care of, because I was like, because I mean the idea of that, okay, great, but you should be able to be with me anywhere I go, and I should still have the same level of power if I set up like a space for you. I set up an altar space for the ancestors, then that should allow me the same access of power.
I don't know if they're completely like.
I'm glad it was taken care of.
Yep, and I don't think they're completely useless. But like when they're at home, which makes sense to me. Like when we're in the manor, like on Charm, when we're at home, don't play with us here.
Right.
Don't play with us at all here. And so I get that, but I agree. And that goes to my next question. You brought up a very huge feat that took place in this TV show. Is there a certain witch in this show that you love?
Yeah, my selection was Davina, but then I also think I did a hold on, because I think I did a.
He froze.
Yeah, it was Davina and Vincent.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
But Davina for sure.
Ooh, okay, so Vincent, Dahlia. Dahlia.
Like her.
But that's what I liked about her, though. Like, she was just, and she did not care. She was going to do some damage. She was going to do some damage, and I liked that about her. And mainly because, and the thing is, I like Davina too, and I hate how fans like pile on Davina. But she's the youngest person there outside of Hope, and she's constantly like in between all these grown ass folks and their problems. And I'm sorry, y'all, the Michelsons are not always right. A lot of times they are dead wrong, which is why they have all these enemies. This is why Klaus has all these enemies, because oftentimes he's dead wrong. Yeah. And so at some point, this is the reason why he was so worried about Hope, because of all the enemies that he's gained over the years, because he's wrong. Sorry, y'all. That is what it is.
He was the more outright rebel, and the one who just did not give a single damn about a thing. And it's like, but don't sleep on Elijah, because Elijah's made some poor choices too.
No, yeah. But and that one too.
That whole refinement that he had and that development that he kind of grew into is what made him so like attractive and like, oh, he's so good, he's like so great. But then you learn more about him, you're like, oh, you were a piece of shit.
Right. Yeah. Like, honestly, and that's what. And sometimes that makes him worse than Klaus, because he's hiding behind all of that.
But the other siblings, I don't think the other siblings were too problematic. I mean, Rebecca was only problematic because of her brother.
Yeah. Wait a minute. Cole was nasty work.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And Vince, and what's his name? Cole, what was the oldest? Finn. When he got reincarnated.
That's the most swag that Finn has ever had.
Yes.
When he was in Vincent.
He's a lame. He's totally lame. And you can tell that.
That time that he was in Vincent, that was the most swag he had ever had.
Ever had.
and then he got his own body for like a little bit, and he had a haircut,
and then he got killed.
And then he got killed. But yes.
So you wasn't too good as a vampire. You're not too good as a witch. You can go. Thank you for the crystal though for Freya, which is my favorite witch on this show. It was Davina, of course, at first, but I feel like the first season witches get glazed over. Like,
there were a lot of them.
Name? What's the redhead name?
Genevieve.
Genevieve was so good, and her death was good too. But Genevieve was so good on the show. She was like villain, but not a villain.
Right.
I like how this show plays with, I said this about something else in one of our other shows. It plays with like classic tropes of like medieval, like you have the kings and the queens, and you have the sorceress, which is what I looked at Genevieve. And when Genevieve died, then Freya came in. And then they tried to get Davina to be the house witch, but she's not going for it.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah.
I did. But I will say that Vincent was a great addition to this show. And I don't know the politics behind the scene, but for him to come on as a bit player and then literally transform into a new character and still be just as great and become a full-time cast member, he did his big one.
He did. And I love how he stood on business all the time.
He is fine. Yes, he is. And he does no wrong. And I think this show is great about morality and what is right and what is wrong, because I think about that time where Freya banished or allowed Davina's spirit to be marked in the other side so she could channel her power to do this spell to bring somebody back to life. I can't remember who it was. Do y'all remember that when Davina was trapped in this circle and her and Elijah snacked Marcel's neck?
It has something to do with the hollow, didn't it?
It did have to do with the hollow. I just don't know what.
Or was this before the hollow? Was this with the prophecy?
Oh, this is.
See that? Yeah.
The spell that was used to Lucian. I think to depower Lucian, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know.
All I know is they was fire. It was fire.
Yeah.
Yep. Who was your favorite Esther? Lenore, original Esther, or Cassie?
Lenore.
Oh, Cassie was fun.
Cassie was fun.
Yes,
but I like Lenore.
Yeah.
You are here by my grace.
Yeah, that was yeah. I'll probably go with Lenore too.
I just like Esther and other people's bodies on the originals had way more like power to me. Had way more strength to her
than she did in Vampire Diaries.
Way more backbone. And it's not to say she didn't have backbone in the Vampire Diaries. It's just she had some spice to her.
I don't remember her being that sick thing in Vampire Diaries. The only thing I remember her doing is doing that spell where she enchants sage.
I don't need that.
I don't want them to remake it, but it would be nice to continue.
Oh, there's no remaking it ever. It's more about let's pick a new storyline in this
more stories.
Honestly, like I don't need any more Vampire Diaries. Like the friends that wanted to continue or they wanted to come back, no, it's leave it where it is. It's fine. Just rewatch it again.
I think the originals, like a continuation, would be fun. I think they would still do a great job of creating an entirely different story. And bringing some people back would be nice, especially some people who didn't get to make it to Legacies for whatever reason. But yeah, I think incorporating some of those and just continuing the story again, I think that could be fun.
Yeah, I agree. I think there's stories that can be told. I think one of the problems with Legacies, which is the show after the originals, is that it didn't stay in New Orleans and it lost its adult appeal. And it went back to that kitty bopper months of the week thing. Yeah. But you have Vincent, Freya, Marcel, Kayleen, that's Freya's wife. Keelan, Freya's wife. You have all four of them in New Orleans. That's enough.
Yeah.
I will say for Legacy, to be fair, I don't think it was as teeny as Vampire Diaries for me, but it could have just been the time. It could have just been the time period that both came out. But Legacies to me, it gave me like young adult vibes, I guess you could say, not too much teeny, but more like when I say young adult, I'm talking about like 20s, like early 20s, mid 20s kind of vibe. And I kind of like the Monster of the Week kind of vibe, and it still held a fairly dark tone at times that I appreciated. So I like Legacies.
I think because it probably felt like after, so like with the Vampire Diaries, yes, you spend like the first like 4 seasons in high school, and then the last half of the series, college and adulthood, and then on top of the originals, which is a way more adult than the first 4 seasons of Vampire Diaries. And then it feels like you're kind of going backwards when you go to Legacies. You're going back to the kids. And not like the kids that are like grown up. No, the kids are still growing up, still being kids. And it's almost like they try to play off of like the Buffy season 1 aspect of Monster of the Week. Almost kind of campy. As someone who didn't actually watch Legacies, but this is what I've gotten from other people that have talked about it.
You need to watch it. You have to watch it at least once just to watch it.
He's right, Ricky.
I promise, Ricky, it's not as bad as you might think it is.
It's really, I'm really not worried about it being bad. I just don't like Julie Peck, so that's what it is.
But to your point, Cam, it is just like Vampire Diaries. The tone, yeah. Vampire Diaries was dark too, so it's not that. It's
I'm still gonna put it just a little bit a hair above Vampire Diaries for me because I can rewatch Legacies. I will try to watch Vampire Diaries, but I can't make promises because the last time I tried to watch it just didn't work out for me.
See, yeah, I don't know because I've been tempted. I've debated whether I want to do a rewatch of Vampire Diaries, but there's some things where I'm just like, I'm conflicted about this show a lot of the time, especially as I talk about it. I'm conflicted about it.
All right, next show.
Wait, no, Lucio has to go. Oh,
how dare you, sir?
You know what?
After 20 minutes.
You know what?
I can't stand that, Rebecca. Wait, let me pull up.
Watch your damn mouth.
Man,
yeah, watch your damn mouth on Rebecca Michelson. Okay.
Oh, Haley.
Rebecca was a girl in love.
I liked Haley better as a mermaid.
Oh my god.
I feel like that's valid. At least that way she wouldn't have to fight to keep her Australian accent under wraps.
Right. H2O just add water, guys. Get on it. It's great.
All right, let's go on to the next show.
Okay, this is a sleeper. So if you have not seen this TV show, it's 2 seasons. It was cut before its time. It was, I don't remember the original network. It could have been Lifetime, I think.
It was Lifetime.
Yeah, it was Lifetime, which is the
wow,
problem.
Really? It was Lifetime?
Yeah, it was Lifetime.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, this story is so, I've rewatched the show several times, and it still holds up to this day. It's basically what Charmed would have been if they didn't have a third sister that came back. It's about these 2 sisters who are ancient witches, and you find out that they're from Norse mythology. And they have the main character. She has 2 daughters, and her daughters are cursed to always die when they get to a certain age, but are reincarnated.
Mm-hmm.
And each of the characters have their own individual curse, which is super cool. And it's really cool. It's a nice way to like cover some Norse mythology because we have a Loki character in here, someone who's like Thor. We have messenger gods. We have Freya, which is one of the characters in this. So it does a really cool job at tapping into that Norse mythology, but also really great as a cool witch show.
Yeah. It was gone before its time.
It was. I rewatched it recently, and I was very frustrated with it. The writing just got a little wonky in certain places, and I feel like it's because they knew it was coming to an end, but then they really didn't, because the show didn't end in a way that it was really the end.
Right.
It was just it's a great show, but I just hate how they treated it. Yeah, my favorite witch is gonna be Freyna, and she's my favorite because they did not do my girl right. All she wanted to do was be happy and be in love, and every time it was always a hurdle with her love situation. Mm-hmm. And she got the worst. She got the worst of everything in this show.
Yeah, she did.
She got the worst of everything in this show, and it made me so mad because she was also so powerful.
Yeah.
Which we never really got to see, honestly. We saw her do a couple of spells, and then she lost her magic towards the end. Mm-hmm. So she really didn't have a chance to flex as Ingrid, her sister, did. Ingrid was the one revered as the most powerful of all of the Beauchamp witches. I like Wendy.
Oh, no, wait. I forgot. I got the names wrong again. It's Ingrid. Ingrid's the one with the blonde curly hair, right?
Yeah, auburn, red, curly hair. Yes.
I'm so embarrassed. Listen. We've done this. This is too much.
Witch, take a drink. You need it. You need it.
It's unacceptable. Okay. All right. It's Ingrid. Ingrid is the one who had the burst of everything in the show.
Yeah, she has all the power.
She died, all of that, like crazy.
All right, next show.
Oh, can I please say that? Well, so quickly though. So for me, what bothered me was like that second, like that weird area in the second season where they like went back in time.
Oh, for the key, with the key.
Yes, and like she was, who was it? Freya was actually like in love with Edgar Allan Poe or something like that.
Yes.
That like the first couple episodes of that was cool, and then it dragged on for too long. That part right there. Yes.
Yeah, it definitely dragged on for a little bit too long. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Lucy, have you seen Witches of East End?
I'm not. I'm actually wondering why there's puzzle pieces all over the guy at the top.
Those are leaves. Those are leaves.
Yeah.
It looks like puzzle pieces, man. No, I haven't seen this.
Lucio, please.
I'm sure these are like a lot of this is on Hulu.
Yeah, hey, I'm busy watching things like Gandahar.
It's okay. You can't pick a favorite. You just have to go and watch the show.
It's a French animation thing. It was weird.
Go and watch it, Lucio. You need to add that to your list. Anybody else who has not watched this show?
So I have taken the bummer part of this show is that I do have a much more extensive list of stuff I need to watch now.
Yes.
My book list is already too long.
Lucio,
it's okay.
Tell us about American Horror Story Coven. How about that?
All right. I've seen some of this. I have not seen the whole thing. I'm gonna finish it. It was interesting. But man, that opening of the very first episode was monstrous.
Yes.
That was horrifying. My youngest, the one who watched Scream with me, was in the other room. She's like, nope. It's just like, I was like, that's probably a good choice because this was a lot.
Yeah, the first episode is extremely heavy. It covers some really tough subjects. And the beginning is not even the worst part.
Oh, that's great. That's spectacular. Also, like, I don't know what. Okay, I know Emma Roberts is an actress, but every time I see her show up in the thing, I'm like, oh, she got to be in this.
What do you mean by that?
I don't know, man. Like it. Her is it her aunt? Is it Julia Roberts? Is her aunt?
Her aunt, yeah, it's Julia Roberts.
Spectacular actress. Love her. Great. Wonderful. Every time I see Emma Roberts, I'm like, oh, okay, cool, good for you.
Oh wow.
It's a little bit demonetizing. It's rude. Like I admit, it's pretty crappy. But like my brain does that. I'm like she's here for a reason. Like she gets these roles because she does like, yes, she has connection, but also like she does okay.
I think you just have a problem with nepotism. I think that's what it is.
I do have a problem with nepotism. We can have a conversation about that if you want.
That's what you're holding against her.
Yeah. the fact that you're everybody's ancestor.
Yeah.
And you have a problem.
If that was the case, I'd be happy with it for everyone to have stuff, man. That's not. I guess my children.
Okay.
So Lucio, you haven't seen this either. So
What
is everyone's top witch from American Horror Story Coven?
Weirdly, Emma Roberts.
That's a good choice.
So you like Madison? Okay, you like Madison? Cool. That's who you know. I love Cordelia.
Yeah.
That's my girl.
Yeah.
That's my girl through and through.
Do you still love her in Apocalypse, or do you love her even more?
I do still love her in Apocalypse. I just wish the writing was better, but I do still love her in Apocalypse. Absolutely, hands down. She showed up. Go find our girls. Round them up.
I was going to say she had a nasty makeover between the third season and Apocalypse. She came back beat.
Listen, stepped on the scene, telling the people what to do, baby. Bring these ashes together. We'll fix it.
I said I wasn't going to do this spell, however, I am going to do it. Okay. This TV show created a new wave of witchy love in all the communities, the gays, the gals, the guys. Everybody loved this show for their own particular reason. It was fun. It was catty. It was Mean Girls meets witches. And everybody loved those two things. Ricky, did you have a favorite witch from this show?
Oh goodness. No, Marie Laveau.
Angela Bassett played Marie Laveau.
Yes. Like that she was my favorite from this season.
You know what? I actually had quite a bit this season. Madison and Fiona were at the top of my list this season. I guess they are.
Yes, Kaylee.
Oh, and Stephen
or Myrtle Snow.
Yeah, probably Myrtle Snow for you.
No, I was guessing for you, Tamon. I was just looking at the redheads in the
Oh, wait, who did you say? I did like Myrtle.
Okay, I think everybody liked Myrtle. I like Myrtle too. Balenciaga!
How can you not like Myrtle Snow with a name like Myrtle Snow?
Right.
Are you kidding me? She was low-key everything. I'm not gonna hold you.
She was, and she was even better in the second one because she seemed stronger and more sure. And not so much paranoid how she was in the first half of Coven.
Because she was supported by a powerful and strong and a wise Supreme.
Yes, she was. Yes, she was.
She felt seen.
And not diminished to the shadows.
Okay, an advisor of sort.
A counsel. Okay. I have a question about this show. Do we think this show could work as a spinoff?
Yes, easily. It could have worked as a spinoff easily. And I mean, even if we want to do like between this and Apocalypse, even if they wanted to do like just a series about that time period, I'd be open to watching that because I mean we still didn't quite get to experience the witch hunters and all of that in their full capacity. Like that was kind of thrown at us towards the end of that season. So to just kind of see the fallout of that, I think that's alone an interesting storyline to see.
Yeah. I would love to see them go against another group, maybe gypsies, or fight something that's another supernatural creature that's not going to be the Antichrist, something else that's going to feel like the stakes are really high. I think I love that idea of the time period between Apocalypse to see what the Coven looked like, even though we're going to be missing people like Queenie and Madison. How would you feel about seeing the first Coven? Like, in one of the other seasons of American Horror Story, they mentioned that this was the first Supreme. Lady Gaga.
That could be cool. I mean, that could be cool too. I mean, there's so many different things that they can honestly do. And I know if he put his mind to it and got over whatever this issue he's had going on for the past few years, where he just throws shows together and they're a hot mess express. I think if he were to commit and overcome that, he could create a Coven universe with no problem, and it'd be great.
A Warlock spinoff, all of that could work.
Mm-hmm. Do you think because Ryan Murphy's like really spread thin with like all the things that he's got going on?
I think that's half of it. I think the other half of his lack of focus just in a singular project in general.
Yeah.
But I also think it's the fact that he's already produced and created such great things that now he's just like, I can do whatever I want, and it doesn't have to be that great because they're gonna watch it.
Exactly. He's that's absolutely what's happening.
Mm-hmm. I feel like that's a large part of it, and it kind of comes across that way too.
Tyler Perry.
Hello.
Wow.
And I think we have one more TV. No, did we talk about it? Was that the last TV show?
Can't be, because you see what's behind me?
Yeah, we haven't even got to that, but let's jump to Teen Witch.
Let's jump to Teen Witch.
Don't cheat me.
All I can think of is Zelda Rubinstein, who played in Poltergeist.
So it still skip me. Okay, I got it.
It may come up later. I don't know what's going on.
We're on TV shows.
Okay, Secret Circle lasted one season.
Yikes.
Like, I don't know. You
don't get the full rundown at all, Cam. You don't get nothing.
No, I'm sorry. So it was not it was produced by Julie Platt as well. Actually, based off the book, just like Vampire Diaries, by what's her name? LJ, whatever. What's her name? Y'all know.
I'm supposed to answer questions now.
Okay.
Liz Friedlander. I'm sorry, I was still taken aback at how cavalier.
It wasn't the same one that wrote Vampire Diaries originally.
No.
Wait, wrote or produced?
Wrote, as in like the actual books.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said who produced it. Apologies.
I thought Julie Platt produced it too.
I don't believe so. The main producer listed is Liz Friedlander.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. So, witches. Girl moves to town, finds out she's a witch, finds out she's connected to these other young witches, and was not given the chance that it deserved. Okay, there you go.
Yeah, it was not given the chance it deserved. It was one
Just
season.
Like
it had 22 episodes. Okay, to be clear,
that's a lot of episodes at least.
I mean, that's what the seasons were giving back then,
right?
And it should have gotten its second season. It ran from 2011 to 2012, and it is about a young woman whose mother dies in a fire, and she goes back to her hometown, meets her grandmother, and finds out that she's a witch because there's already a circle of witches based off of family lineage, and they are all together and they form a circle to increase their power, and she is the completion of that. And it goes on their journey of being a circle and fighting various villains, and learning things about their family heritage and history and overcoming those obstacles.
This is also the plot of Halloween Town.
Yes.
I'm gonna give you a knuckle sandwich.
Why is there always some grandmother who has the secret answers to everything in these shows?
It is because there's always like a daughter who's like, no, we're not going to do that anymore, and is like really reticent to like pass it on, and then at the end they're like, okay, we can be a family and be witches.
Yes. Unfortunately, the grandmother also dies in this show, so she doesn't have any family until her father shows up, and you find out he has been the villain for the last 16 years.
Good grief.
It's
I
crazy.
think that also happens in Halloween Town.
No, it does not.
So this is
it's the ex-boyfriend. It's the ex-boyfriend. It's the mom's ex-boyfriend is the villain.
Right.
I apologize. Forgive me. All my Halloween
What's his name? Calabar.
Calabar's Revenge. I watched that the other day because for those who don't know, Disney Plus actually has a streaming channel of Halloween movies.
They do. We've been dabbling in that lately.
And my favorite witch from that show, because you won't do it to me. My favorite witch from that show, I would have to say, would be Diana.
Period. Why?
Oh, she was my favorite because she was the one that kind of was like the root of the circle for me. Mm-hmm. She was the one that brought everybody together. She was the one that was trying to get everybody to find their family grimoires and things, and really form this friendship with, what's her name? Cassie. Cassie. And then we find out like she's got they got this Blackwell connection between each other, and it was just really cool. And I just loved her, and she was great.
Was that the one that
her boyfriend?
Was that the actress that eventually would go on to play in The Flash?
No, that's Melissa.
Oh, okay.
That's the one that nobody cared about in the circle.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
so wait,
sad.
this gal on the left, Cam's left, that she's in two separate witch shows?
She's in The Flash.
This gal right here.
Oh, right. Yeah, she's in the Secret Circle, and she's in the originals.
Really? That's pretty awesome.
Well, there were CW shows, so like that's
that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Yes. CW likes to recycle their actors because they're low budget.
Right. I mean, if the show only lasts a season,
cast them.
Like if the show only lasts a season, why not? They took out a contract.
And the girl in the center, Cassie, she's in Scream 4.
Okay, all right.
In the opening, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. How dare you?
But that actress has a series of one season that seem to get killed. They don't last past the first season. Series of shows.
Me and my agent will have to have a discussion at that point.
Honestly, this is one that should have been renewed.
Right.
It really is, but I think the writer's strike happened around that time. It was
a lot of stuff got hurt by the writer's strike.
Yes. Always. It always happens at the most inopportune time, and it ruins the greatest shows.
Hey, everyone pay your writers. Come on, man.
Next show, next movie.
Well,
Teen Witch now.
Teen Witch.
Oh, Teen Witch.
I have nothing for Miss Top That. I barely remember it.
You don't remember the rap scene in this one?
I just said I have nothing besides Top That.
Okay, so I would often get this confused with the Sabrina the Teenage Witch movie, the original movie.
Yeah.
Which I think I preferred over this one.
It's the same thing.
I know, but still. At least the movie had a continuation.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't have a favorite.
I know I saw this at least twice, and all I have is that weird rap scene.
That's it.
That's it.
That. This is Blake Lively's sister. Did you know that?
It sure is.
Mm-hmm.
Who would have guessed?
No wonder I hated it.
Wow.
Just more nepotism.
Lucio, you are full of it tonight.
Next.
Yes.
Now this is a cult classic for your ass. The Craft.
Mm-hmm.
I know everyone. Lucio, please tell me you've seen this.
I know I've seen it. I remember it being good. I probably should just go back. Like when this is done, I'm just gonna go watch this right now.
Yeah, just go. Actually, while we're on the live,
let me open up the Craft. The Craft. Watch on
and press play so we can all hear you watch it live.
MGM Plus, YouTube, Amazon Prime Video.
Yep.
Peacock. Sling
there
TV.
You go. We're listening
everywhere.
And we know the theme song. We know the music too. Let's go.
I'm pretty sure we'll get
right. The original theme song, the Charmed.
Yeah, come on. Press play. Okay, now who didn't love this movie? Can we just say nobody?
I enjoyed it.
Do you have a favorite witch?
Rochelle.
Is it because she's black?
Partially.
Uh-huh. Nepotism. I'm just kidding.
Ain't no shame in my game, baby. Partially because yes.
There's only one witch on this page that matters.
She's so unhinged. I love her.
Skeet Ulrich is in this too?
Yeah.
Even looking at this, you can tell that she's the problem.
Yeah. So unhinged. And that's okay.
And they ate this little moment up right here.
And it's crazy how good this movie still is to this day. Like if it randomly comes on, I'll watch it, of course, and it's still good. Does anybody have any favorite moments from this movie?
Oh, Marsha Brady hair falling out.
Oh,
Marsha Brady. Oh, the what's the actress's name? Is it Christine?
She played Marsha Brady. That's her name.
Yeah.
Yes, Marsha Brady.
I mean, I like the scene on the beach.
On the beach? Oh, on the beach, yeah.
I also liked when they were confronting Miss Girl. What's her name? When they were confronting what is her name?
Rochelle?
No, not Rochelle. When they were confronting the girl, the one that was the problem.
Nancy.
Yes, I bind you, Nancy. I like that scene too.
Okay. My favorite part is when it's the end of the movie and she's like, they're asking and they're harassing Sarah. And they're like, well, why isn't she using any magic on us? And then Nancy's like, because she's weak. That's one of my favorite parts of this movie.
You know who else was weak?
Who?
Eve.
Eve was weak. And we're going to find out how weak she was in the Carrie TV show that we're going to be getting soon.
Say it.
They're making it. Okay, I thought you said they were making a movie. They're making a TV show of it?
Eve was weak.
No,
that's worse.
And so was the networks.
How
6
many
episodes?
Just make a movie.
Just make a fucking movie.
Or do another thing. Do a different thing. Do
6 episodes.
Do a new.
What if we're not gonna listen? If we're not gonna be diving into the backstory of Carrie White's father being a demon, devil worshipping magic user, then I don't want to see anything.
It's only 6 episodes. They don't have time for that. 6 episodes. They don't have time for that.
That's a made-for-TV movie.
It is.
Or just not do it.
Correct. That's the better option.
That's the best option.
Just don't do it. We don't need it, y'all.
All right. And last, no shopping.
Ricky, who you got? Ricky, who you pick?
Oh no, I love Rochelle, but I love how unhinged Nancy is. To the end, to the very end, unhinged.
Yeah.
To the sequel that shouldn't have been very unhinged.
That part. All right. Next movie.
Never
we know
heard
this.
Just kidding.
Lucio, you seen this one?
This is my wife's favorite. One of her favorite movies. This is like a almost year-round watch kind of thing for us.
Okay, well, Lucio, tell us about this movie and your favorite character, please.
Oh man, okay. So here the problem is I'm not gonna remember names because awful names. But yeah, so some kids are virgins. They light a candle. They release some witches that were they were trapped by the townsfolk. Yeah. Anyway, it's a Disney movie. There's some holes in the story. Yeah, these 3 witches somehow were stopped by pilgrims, I guess. That's what they look like. And
they were executed.
They're executed like in the dumbest way possible. They get brought back because they get brought back because of this kid lighting candle. They get one night to restore themselves, or they get to be dead again. Hilarity ensues because it's a Disney movie.
and it was actually a flop.
Was it a flop?
It was a flop.
That's hilarious. Oh man, that happened.
It's a cult classic now.
Yep.
But it was a flop at the time. What was it going up against? I think number one, it came out during the summer.
Oh, really? Why would you do that?
Yeah, that's weird.
Right. If you do your Googles, I think this came out during the summer.
July 16th, 93.
Oh my
why
God.
would you do that?
Wow.
That's why it flopped, idiots.
Because
Wait
I
3
think
months.
because of the fact that I think The Nightmare Before Christmas was coming out shortly after this, and they didn't want it to compete with that.
Do both. That's one of those situations. Do both.
You have to do both.
Yeah. So that's why.
Look at who's in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Come on, man.
Yep.
It's crazy that they got lynched, they got hung, and she has electricity powers and didn't use them at all.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Is like there's holes in this movie. Like, why did these 11 pilgrims stop them?
The fact that you call them pilgrims is funny.
Tell me what they look like. They look like pilgrims.
Because they are. All right. Was that the last one?
Sarah,
that was the last. Yeah, that was the last movie. Yes. Sarah Sanderson. Yes.
Was she your favorite one?
Mm-hmm. Actually, no, Freddie.
Mine was Winifred.
Winifred. Yeah.
Yeah. The leader. Actually, what was it? Yeah, Mary was hilarious.
She is the comic relief. She is very good in this.
What's her name? Something Najimy.
Kathy.
Kathy Najimy. I think I low key love her in most things that she's in.
Everything she's in. She's weird, yeah.
She's just a huge character in all the things. She just goes big in all her stuff. Yep.
Yes. And so I think the next last two are things that which is in other media. So coming
Wicked!
soon.
Yep.
Coming soon to a Thanksgiving plate near you.
I hope we're all excited for this.
I am. I'm excited. I'm ready for this. I've been ready for this, and I'm gonna go see it. I'm probably towards the end of. Well, tickets for pre-sale are up now, so yeah, we're not sold out, but they're available now on AMC.
I'm excited for it. Did you guys see the play? Did you guys see the musical?
I've never seen the musical, play, but I've read the book.
Okay, my wife cajoled me into going to see this, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, it's so good!"
Mm-hmm.
It's my favorite stage play.
It's really good. Yeah.
Yeah, I really enjoy it. So, Glinda or Alphaba?
Glinda.
Of course you would.
Believe it or not, I have not seen or read the book.
Who are you? Who is this human being?
I have not seen it on Broadway. I've
heard
most of us
wouldn't be able to afford to, but it's okay.
Yeah, I've heard great things. I've heard great songs from it, and I'm excited to.
All throughout the theater.
I saw this thing on social media said all theater geeks when it comes out, and it was just a collage of people doing that same part over and over.
Yeah, in different ways. Just how
yes.
Yep.
Yes. All right, next one.
All right. So this is what I don't know.
Black Clover. This is my lane.
This is a Katie's pick. I can tell.
It's actually not, but it would have been. But I love Black Clover. Asking me to pick a favorite. Oh, what it's about. Okay. So Black Clover is about a young man who was born without magic and be in a world of magic users. Okay. Everything about life in this world is decided by your magical ability. So it's kind of like a caste system, or however you want to look at it. The better grimoire that you have, the better magic that you have, the more valued you are in society, the more access that you have to various things and whatnot. So, of course, he's born without magic. He's abandoned as a child for very specific reasons. And then he does end up getting a grimoire but it is not. It is still it's anti-magic. So he cancels out all magic, and he's able to do this because his grimoire is actually, I guess you could say, blessed by a demon, or was created by a demon rather. So it kind of enhances his power, and it's just about his journey through this world and using his sheer strength and might and just his brain power to overcome these obstacles of not having magic. And he creates some great friends along the way. They have different squads, and he ends up on a squad that's infamous for, kind of like misfit magic users. So yeah, and it's a great show. I think everybody should watch it. It's a pretty easy watch. It doesn't have very many episodes. I mean, I want to say it's definitely got over 100, but it's an easy watch.
Wait, did you say it doesn't have that many episodes?
For anime, in my opinion, no.
That's so many episodes.
But I promise you, the episodes are short enough, and it's a super easy watch. I would not necessarily be able to pick my favorite, witch or magic user from this, because there are quite a few that have such amazing storylines, as well as abilities. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. So it's very hard for me to pick, but I do love Asta, who is the main character.
This is one of the only animes I can handle. And it's really good. There's a character to the far left. Her name is Noelle. She's my favorite character. For all the reasons you probably would assume she would be a favorite character of mine. But she's also very troubled because she has all this power and can't control it. And she comes from a very powerful line, a family of magic users, and she's the one that can't
royalty almost.
Yeah, royalty. And she's the one who can't quite get her shit together, but she's still more powerful and knowledgeable than others around her too. So it comes off as if she has it all, but she doesn't has it all. And I really like her storyline.
Mm-hmm. So you'll check it out for those who haven't, and for those who have, shout out in the comments.
Okay. That's it on that. There was something that popped up, and I completely forgot about that we didn't talk about. Well, no, I think with the Secret Circle, I wanted to come back to that. It reminded me of this book series that I read in middle school called Sweep. A girl named Morgan, she finds out that she's adopted. And she comes from this long line of witches, powerful coven, and very, very more like druid Celtic type magic. And that was pretty good. And I wish they would make that into a show. But it reminded me of Secret Circle a lot.
Okay.
But that was definitely worth a read too.
Okay.
Yeah. It's called Sweet by Kate Tiernan.
Sweet
with a T. Sweet with a P.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And if you buy any of the UK versions of the book, it's probably called Wiccan or Wicca.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Are there any other creatures that go bump in the night?
Vampires, of course, and then of course werewolves, and we have plenty of that. But this was a heavy episode.
Yeah. I'm surprised no one brought up Blade. No one brought up 1922 Nosferatu.
Yeah, there's so much.
You can always talk about yourself, Lucio.
Yeah, you can tell us history.
Ricky, you too.
We'd love to hear about your family history.
Right.
You're so self-absorbed. It's crazy. It's just
like you could have been talked about yourself. We could have done that.
Yeah,
this could have been. Look, this really could have been like this for us. So
no,
yeah, we should
tell us about yourself.
This is so uncomfortable.
Lucio,
tell us.
Is that the queen from Red Sonja? Oh no, that's Willow. That's Willow.
Willow. It's
that's
Queen
Willow.
Florida. Yeah, that's Queen Badmorda.
I mean, she is a magic user. Is that you to the right?
To the right.
Or to the left?
Are you the real Jolene?
Are you the real Jolene?
Oh my god.
Well, I was gonna recommend if you guys they're really easy reads. There's these books called they're from White Wolf, the company that did the Vampire the Masquerade role-playing game. In case you're wondering how nerdy I can get, they had a book series that was, I think it was 3 books. The first one was called A Hunger Like Fire, and it's in their like role-playing universe. So that there's different I guess clans of someone's gonna get mad at me about this. I think it's clans of vampires, and they all have like a set of powers that they're around. So like there's the ones that are the noble ones, and they have like all the glamour powers because they're like they're like the royalty of the group. And there's the ones that are like the ugly vampires, and they have like a lot of their powers are focused on making them not look ugly, but also they have like these weird pestilence powers and stuff like that. But it's a really easy read. The books are like 250 pages each. I think there's 3 in the series. They're a lot of fun to read.
So which clan are you from?
Not a good one, probably.
Oh,
probably the scholars, the one who collects all the maps and the one who has all the lore and the rituals.
Now you're gonna make me look up all these vampire clans.
I feel like this episode deserves to be part of.
I was thinking that too, Ricky. So next week we'll be back for part 2 of
because I mean, like we could go on about witches like forever.
And we knew that though. We knew.
I think that's what happened.
I feel
we knew that was going to happen, which is why I put it first.
We've done this exactly before.
We should have put them at the end.
We've done this exactly before.
Yeah, rush.
All right. Let's run through episode 2. Klaus, Marcel. We're done.
So for real though, like everyone's like from like everyone's favorite witch, everyone's favorite vampire, everyone's favorite werewolf.
I mean, like if you had said this like maybe like 4 or 5 years ago, yes, okay, cool, but not after this past summer with Lestat. Yes, Lestat, and we're about to get season 3 Lestat, Glamrock Lestat, yeah.
Oh, so you said Lestat, not Louis?
Well, no, we love Louis too, but Lestat's about to be like running the show.
It's Lestat.
It's about Lestat.
Yeah. So, what about Armand?
No, Justice for what was his name? Raul?
Yes.
Justice for Raul. He was just trying to do his job, and Armand was messing with him.
I'm gonna go with Marcel because Marcel is all of the things. If we remember by the end of the originals, he took the potion that made him a better original.
The venom.
So he is the apex predator in this whole universe, which is enough in itself for a story.
And we have a tribred, so
we have our tribred.
We should really just do an episode, a part 2.
Should really just do a part 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's my vampire and my witch over the course of all this stuff that we've talked about.
Oh, I can't do that.
That's impossible for me to.
Mine's right there. Mine's easy. That one.
Because Piper, Fiona, Freya. No.
I feel like it's. I can't because all of them are so different. Not even just like the characters themselves, but the magic that they practice. It's all so different. Like, how can you really compare them?
I have that wrote down as a question. What magical world would you want to be a part of? So which type of what'd you say, Cam?
Original.
Over Charm, Secret Circle, all of those.
I want to be a part of the originals.
I think I would appreciate Sunnydale a little bit more.
Oh.
So
Willow Rosenberg.
Because they were witches that weren't necessarily born witches. They just had this innate ability to learn it and to perfect the craft. I think I appreciate that with Willow, and not necessarily Willow herself, because in hindsight, after rewatching the show, Rilla was a mess. But the idea, the process of her like learning magic and gaining power, so I like that.
Okay, what about you, Lucia? Which world would you want to live in?
Oh man. I mean, ostensibly we're already in the Marvel universe, so probably that.
Fair. That's fair.
Oh, they got too much
my
going
goal
on
would
in the
be
Marvel universe.
my goal would be in the Marvel universe. I'm just like some guy who just never gets mentioned. There's like a cutaway randomly. Remember this guy in episode 603? He lost his keys.
Because you like to be incognito. I understand.
I don't want to be in anything, man.
Oh, you want to be Forget Me Not? That's
I want to be Forget Me Not. That's right. I want to be Forget Me Not. That's
what
right.
Awful. I think I'm going to lean in with Cam on the universe I want to be a part of. I was tempted to do Charmed because they've done some really fantastical things with their abilities as far as like, and then Coven was a choice too, but because I think the Seven Wonders is a really cool magical system.
Mm-hmm.
But something about New Orleans and all the cool things we can do there and the knowledge that I'll have and not just waiting for someone to come and kill me, that I actually can go kill witches without being crucified, or that is more violent. I feel like I can really protect myself.
I just hate the part where like for a while like you couldn't do magic because Marcel was having a fit.
Yeah.
That would be the issue.
They should have tried to kill him a long time ago, but
Sabrina the Teenage Witch. I want to be in the original Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
I would
where it's just goofy and happy.
Not seduced.
Yeah, I'm gonna lift this band one way or another.
Okay, last question.
Okay.
If you had to pick a group of witches to defend you against all the rest, who would it be?
Okay.
Like one witch, or just you said a group of witches?
It could be the Coven universe, the Charmed universe, the Secret Circle
original.
I want a variety. I want Prudence. No, I want a variety pack. I want Prudence because not only does she get decent, but she's good with a sword.
That Prudence. Okay.
Yeah, I want Prudence. I mean, the charm ones would be great too, but you gotta have all three of them.
You gotta have all three.
I want Ketsia. I want Dahlia. I want Inadu.
No, you can't do that.
I want all of them.
You have to pick a universe.
No, okay, well then fine. I want Inadu then. I want Inadu.
The originals universe cannot go up against every other universe, y'all. Well, apparently so.
You said the originals can't?
You think the original universe can go against the Charm universe?
Mm-hmm.
It depends on who it is, though.
I do.
Witch Wars against Charm versus the original witches?
Mm-hmm. I don't think the New Orleans witches themselves could. I think the ones that we meet in the originals could. Like Dahlia, I feel like Inadu could.
Yeah, Dahlia's gonna do some nasty work.
A majority of the most powerful witches in the originals are going to eat. They're going to eat. They're so smart. So if they're going to attack, they're going to eat. And even if they have to defend, they're going to eat.
What about against the Coven witches?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the way I'm so confident in the magical system just from the originals that I feel like they can go up against any other magical system, honestly.
That would have been a really cool crossover though.
What, Coven versus originals?
I mean, because they're in the same setting.
That could have been dope. The problem is the Coven don't actually teach them girls shit.
Right.
Well, we don't know what Cordelia was teaching those girls between.
Those were the actual Harvest Girls. Those are the actual Harvest Girls.
Yeah. I assume that the regent is the same as the supreme.
Yeah. Well,
that means
the problem with the regent is because it's so like based on that area, whereas the supreme could be anywhere.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I mean that's fine, but the regent knowing that their power is strongest in New Orleans is not New Orleans. What the in New Orleans, they're not gonna leave. So you're either gonna fight them on their territory, or you have to literally find a way to get them out of there, out of New Orleans. And good luck.
Cordelia versus Piper.
Cordelia.
Okay.
Well, you know what? It depends on who's quicker. It depends on who's quicker. It depends on what level of knowledge we have going into this. Mm-hmm. And it depends on who's quicker.
That feels like that's a very even battle.
Yeah. I like Ricky's idea of picking the coven. I would pick like 6 Sharon Davises, and then like one Emma Roberts would get in accidentally.
Okay. Lucio, you're in timeout.
And on that note, it's up for
signing off.
Ricky has called for a part 2 of this because we didn't even get the chance to tell y'all more about witches, and we didn't dive into the other spooky creatures.
Should we do that, or are we going to do wrap up of horror next week?
I think that we'll figure it out.
Yeah, we're coming back next week.
Yeah.
Just know we'll be back next week to talk about creatures of the night and whatever Lucio just said.
We're a little episode that we had planned that was top horror movies of 2024.
Oh, that's a great one.
Yeah, we should do that. That was on the schedule.
That's a good topic. We should do that one.
We can always come back to the Creature of the Night. Creature of the Night Part 2, Electric Boogaloo.
That's right. Stay tuned for Creatures of the Night Part 2 whenever we'll do that one. But next week, we may have an episode about our top 10 horror movies of the year.
And I thought you already had some people lined up for that.
Yeah, guess what's number 1? Why can't I? Why?
I told Kate I need to watch more horror this week, so that's just not in my top 10.
It's gonna be your top 10 because it's so good.
Oh my goodness!
Oh God, no, please!
Because I can smell your little nappy.
Oh, no.
And on that note, y'all.
Thanks for tuning in. You can make sure you like, subscribe, share. This is the part 1 of this conversation. You will see us again for part 2 of Creatures of the Night. I am Taman Kane.
I'm Cadence.
I'm Ricky Z.
And I'm Lucio.
And we are
Geekin out.
That was pretty good. That's pretty good. All right.
We did it, guys.
We did it.